Got a new mic and new problems.
Hey, welcome back to another update. This one's gonna be kind of quick because not a lot happened. I've been a little busy with school, so I haven't really been able to work on this a lot. And a lot of the things I wanted to do, like test a new weapon concept, test the egg beater, couldn't happen because of a couple issues that came up. Before we get into some of the issues and the bad news, let's start with some good news. First, I was able to complete the testing chamber, or what I like to call the kill box, with a lot stronger mounts and actually screwed in. So there's no chance of any pieces or shrapnel to fly out of the box. I was also able to test the weapon and try and hit some things, which through the testing I've learned that the weapon that I came up with, originally the drum spinner, may need some updating or an entire rework.
Oh man, okay.
So this was the drum that was tested in the footage that I just showed. As in the footage, it wasn't really connecting with anything, it just kind of scraped little bits off and didn't get enough contact. And something like the egg beater, that would change that, because instead of doing sticking into it, it kind of just hits it with blunt force. And I know that this will work, but I kind of want to do some more damage, so I came up with another concept, kind of combining the two in a way. This in no way is the final design of it, but it's a mix of a little bit of blunt here and the sharpness of the little hook there. So it can both stick into it and then hit it. This is still a working concept that I haven't been able to test because of our first issue. Right after the test, a couple things arose. One, the pulley, it is gone. It completely burnt through the PLA plastic, and there's barely any of it left. And the weapon mount, it's caved in on itself. On the inside, it's all burnt up. One quick thing I noticed while editing this video, you can actually see when the weapon mount caves in, when the weapon starts to slow down after it gets hit. And it split. So that wasn't good. So I reprinted the pulley out of resin, which, unlike PLA, burns at 475, around 475 Fahrenheit. So we won't have that issue anymore, as well as reprinting the weapon mount out of resin. What I've also learned is that resin doesn't really thread as well as PLA, so I'll have to buy some M3 kind of inserts so it can fit firmly inside of there. And I would have tested the egg beater and how effective it was, but the next time I tried to work on it, the weapon ESC burst into smoke. Right there, you can kind of see a little bit of the damage that it did, and that rendered this whole thing useless, and also killed 2 of my receivers. So that's kind of just a pain in the butt. I also got another battery for what I'm calling a competition battery, because it's a lot smaller, but it will still supply the amount of energy needed to run everything full force for a full 3 minutes. Reference, this is the battery I was using to test just like normally, and this is the competition battery. You can kind of see it is a lot smaller, and then that will give us a lot less weight and give more weight for us to work on armor, the weapon, and other stuff. And the ESC that I replaced for it, I just finished soldering the tips on and the battery connections too. It's a lot thinner than the other ESC. You can kind of see I can fit this in a lot better spaces. I was going to replace the ESC eventually, but that kind of just forced the process to go a bit faster. Yep, that's kind of it for this update. See you in the next one.